Do you think it's a coincidence that Chris just happened to park his truck directly in front of Nate's camera? If you got the immediate feeling that the whole thing seems staged, it's probably because it is. If you wanted to convince the public of something without actually showing anything and with only circumstantial evidence, that is one way to do it. And sure, law enforcement and the mainstream media could put out a news story about it, but that wouldn't pull at the heartstrings of people enough to push their agenda. They have to do it psychologically. Many people believe they are watching Chris load the bodies of his family into his truck. But do they believe this because there is actual evidence that proves this, or is it because they were told that's what was happening? And it wasn't just someone that told them, it was law enforcement and the mainstream media who fed them the narrative. So it automatically makes it credible, right? I hope your answer was no to that question, because evidence that you can see with your own two eyes is what makes it credible. Just because something might appear a certain way, it doesn't make the claim true, and we all know appearances can be deceiving. There are people who know that the mainstream media outlets are there to push an agenda, narrative, or some sort of propaganda onto the public. Then there are others who believe that the information the mainstream media puts out is 100% factual and true. So why would anyone question the authenticity of the video footage in the first place? A lot of people wouldn't, but they should. This is why it's so important for people to think for themselves, think logically, and ask questions. Shannan's social media, body cam footage, discovery documents, video footage, etc. were released to the public to pull people in psychologically. By watching all of Shannan's videos and reading about her entire life made people feel as if they knew her and the girls. The more horrific the case, the more emotional and enraged people become. And when people are upset or angry, they usually react with their emotions instead of thinking logically or rational. And that is only a small portion of the psychological aspect in all of it. There have been an overwhelming amount of coincidences in this case, and I already mentioned one. But I would like to point out a few more and let you know that there is no such thing as a coincidence when it comes to the Watts case. For instance, do you think it's a coincidence that Kessinger was contracted to Anadarko and started working there just a few months before her and Chris started the affair? Do you think it's a coincidence that Shanann just happened to leave her husband to go to North Carolina for 6 weeks, which conveniently opened up the opportunity for Chris and Kessinger to start their affair? Do you think it's a coincidence that Shanann just happened to have a doctor's appointment that she missed on the same day that the girls were supposed to start school and the day that Nicole Atkinson was worried about her best friend, even though she didn't even know her birthday or age or even if she was in her 20s or 30s for that matter, and just happens to call in a welfare check on the same day that Chris planned the murders? Do you think it was just a coincidence that Chris and Troy McCoy arranged to meet about the fire stick in the grocery store parking lot, and who just happened to get the phone call about the leak at Survey 319 and conveniently gave Chris the opportunity to go straight to the oil tanks instead of going to the office first like he usually did? Do you think it's a coincidence Chris made every possible mistake a person could make when committing a murder? He left multiple items at Survey 319 just out in the open. Not 1 or 2 items, but multiple items. Kind of like that shooting that happened prior to the Watts case. The alleged shooter had over 20 guns just laid out all over his hotel room. Was this done to convince everyone that he was the shooter and no one else, but without actually having any physical evidence proving that he was the one that actually did the shooting? Kind of similar to Chris leaving all of the evidence out in the open at Survey 319. They wanted to make it easy for law enforcement to find the gravesite and the location of the bodies with their drone and without having to do any actual crime scene investigating. No cadaver dog search, no manpower. Chris might as well have left a big X for law enforcement. And how convenient that Chris just gave in after 4 hours and told them that the girls were in the tanks. Why would Chris go through all that trouble of getting rid of his entire family to be with his mistress just to give up everything after a few hours of being interrogated, or lack thereof? We know that Chris didn't have enough time to do all of the things the official narrative claims he did. If he didn't have enough time, it's probably because it didn't happen. Don't you think it's odd that Chris showed up to the house after he just allegedly murdered his entire family, dug a grave, and disposed of his family, but didn't have a speck of dirt or sweat drop on him? Not only that, but the guy looked like he just got a full 8 hours of sleep the night before. I can't imagine he got much sleep when he was on the phone with his alleged mistress and with his adrenaline pumping. Do you think it's a coincidence that Kessinger fell off the face of the earth and no one has come out and claimed they know her? No friends, coworkers, family members, ex-boyfriends, or enemies of Kessinger's? She obviously does not give off a great first impression, so I would be shocked if she didn't piss anybody off at some point in her life. What are the odds the same thing happened in a different orchestrated murder case? The girlfriend of the alleged shooter should have been investigated, but she wasn't. She was hardly questioned, even though the man she was dating wired her $100,000 just before the shooting. Well, guess what happened to her? We don't know because she also disappeared into thin air or fell off the face of the earth. There were a few photos released of her and the alleged shooter and a few other ones. No one ever came out and claimed to have known her. No one with a 140 IQ is going to dump bodies at a location that is leased by the company they work for. And not just any company, but an oil and gas company run by very powerful people and who are associated with even more powerful people. Unless the oil company is in on it. And I don't mean in on it as in they didn't want the bad publicity if it went to trial, so they forced Chris to take a plea deal. Money is power, and these big oil companies are the ones in control. If they didn't want any of this information getting out or the bad publicity, I guarantee you the body cam footage, the discovery, this three-ring circus called the Watts case would be non-existent. In part 2, I want to cover more coincidences in the Watts case that are not as coincidental as one might think. The security cameras at the Lazy Dog that Chris and Kessinger went to did not record and only had live footage. The security cameras inside a McDonald's were working, but the outside cameras were not. Law enforcement never bothered to get the footage from any of the CCTV street cameras for any of the routes made by parties involved. There were also no cameras at Survey 319 because it was an older well and would eventually be plugged and abandoned. And Nate's security camera did not pick up Nicole Atkinson pulling into the driveway when she dropped off Shanann. Do you think it's a coincidence that all of the video footage in this case was either faulty, missing, or non-existent? Everything that could substantiate the whereabouts of the people involved conveniently didn't work or law enforcement didn't bother to look at it. Is it just a coincidence and unfortunate that law enforcement was not able to recover Kessinger's deleted text messages because they didn't have the technology to perform physical extractions on iPhones? Any mobile forensics expert knows that the only way to recover deleted text messages is by doing a physical extraction. That's if you are using mobile forensic software and if all of the other easier, less invasive options failed, which they didn't even bother to do either. And surely they could have borrowed the mobile forensics device from another department or purchased one considering 4 people were just allegedly murdered. But that's what they do in these orchestrated events. They make up some excuse and figure no one will notice. And even if people do notice, they don't care because they know there's nothing we can do about it. They only give the public enough information to push their narrative. That's why there are so many holes and unanswered questions in this case. It may seem as though they were being transparent by releasing all of this information to the public, but if that were true, people still wouldn't be trying to figure out the answers. Isn't it? They release all this information because it sends people down rabbit holes and it distracts people. And they're like, oh, what about this and this? And then everyone digs into the discovery. And it's like, oh, look over here, not over there. It's like all done by design. And they only release in the discovery what they want us to see. And that's why it should be an open and closed case with all the information released and him, confessing, but it's not. That's why there's more questions or more answers than questions. Hey, Dub. How's it going? How are you? I did I comment on I was watching or like browsing some of yours and Michelle's old streams, and um I miss your guys' streams. But I couldn't remember if I commented that to you guys or not on one of them. I can't remember. Hey, Sour. It's funny that you guys like both came into my chat because, well, what I just said, and then also Sour. I was watching one of Shan's her name that tune YouTube versus D Live streams, and I was cracking up. It was so funny. Our answer's hilarious. Yeah, you too, Sour. Yeah, it was funny. I miss those days. Those are fun days. But are you and Michelle gonna stream again, Dub? I have a feeling you're gonna say no, because if you guys were going to, you would have done it by now. I love Shan. She's so great. I need to message her. I'm really bad about that. But she's so awesome. She's so funny. And I know Watts case again. But I am going to be doing new Watts content, sort of, if that helps my case. It's not like I'm like going over the same content. I'm only playing my videos because no one was in the chat, and I don't want to just like sit here and like be silent with just like a picture or a photo of some lightning that I took. Even though it's a great picture, I have to admit. Sometime soon, maybe. I don't believe you, Dub. But no, I get it. It's it can be overwhelming sometimes for sure and tiring. Hello, Swamp Lover. Let me guess. The volume's low, right? I think it's just you. I think you should probably get a hearing test if you haven't so far, because you're the only one that complains usually, unless I actually do have an audio issue. But you're the only one that complains about it when I don't really have one. But have you been sour? Have you just been working a lot, doing the same old thing? I log on to DLive like here and there, but there's like nobody on there from the group anymore, as far as I can see. It's pretty sad over there, actually. Yeah, I know that the volume was a little low on my test stream earlier, but not. It did get louder towards the end. But I heeded your advice and I turned it up to like 1 to 125 and the other one to like 110. Just for you, Swamp Lover. Yeah, good old DLive days. Oh, the big D. I'm sorry, Sour. Well, I mean, if you're happy about it, then I'm not sorry. But just the whole process of it, I'm sure, is probably a pain in the ass, you know? You should move back to Arizona then. I don't need to sit closer to the mic. I have a headset, Swamp Lover. It's just not a great one. It's crappy. But I would I would love to know all of your opinions, those of you that are in the chat right now, and those who aren't that see this replay. But you know, yours, Dub, Sour, and Swamp Lover. Well, kind of Swamp Lover, but I'm just kidding. About everything that's been going on in the past couple of weeks. It's crazy, 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 crazy. Not surprised, but still crazy. You guys are funny. Oh, my audio's good? Okay, thanks, Dub. I just saw that. I'm really surprised you guys are here. But this is awesome. It's good to see you guys in the chat. It's so weird when people say that. It's like, good to see you. It's like, I can't see you. But it's crazy to me. I mean, I try to keep in mind that not everybody is able to see the things that, you know, that we can see for the most part, but it's getting almost so bad that it's comical. Like it's like they don't even care anymore. Like I know they've kind of been like that for a while now, but it's like they really don't care. Like they're not even trying. It's so just horrible, like B movie theater. And still people fall for it. It boggles my mind. I don't get it. But it definitely doesn't help when someone has such a strong bias um, about something or someone. I've realized. So it helps when you don't have, a strong belief of something either way. If that makes sense. So since I don't really follow any movement or not, I really don't want to say the P word. Why am I not going to censor myself? I don't follow any political party or anything like that. So therefore I don't have a bias, either way. So what I'm saying is I guess I know it makes it easier to see past things or see things more clearly compared to other people that do have that bias. You guys know what I'm saying, right? It's been a while since I've streamed, and even when I did stream all the time, I'm a horrible speaker, so. Oh yeah, and of course it has to take place in my town. Not my town, but I don't think anybody like in the videos I've watched as far as calling it out for what it is. I haven't seen anybody mention, as far as the numerology goes, that or mention that we're on the 33-degree parallel here in Phoenix. Yeah, Phoenix. Yep. Just like Shanann in the Chris Watts case, she went to Phoenix, Arizona for her Thrive convention on the 33-degree parallel. No, I just got all country. Oh, yeah, no, but I did see a little blip of Tucker's speech, but I definitely wasn't going to sit there and watch the whole thing. I refuse to spend more time than I have to on those events. So I finally got to the point where I realized that it doesn't really matter, or you don't need to know all of the answers to everything. You don't have to know the who, what, where, when, and why. You just have to know that it's scripted. And as long as you know that, then you're good. And the only reason why I would try to find the who, what, when, and where is if I started streaming again and I was going to try to, wake people up to what's going on. Because I would have to know some of those answers in order to back up what I'm saying. But I'm content with just knowing that it's scripted. So I think once you get to that point, then you've beat that. You beat them, if that makes sense. Because you guys know, I'd be like, well, where, what, and why, and how, and then where, and who did what in what room with what object, and, it's just, that's what they want, They want to send you down those rabbit holes and distract you and just psychologically mind fuck you. Excuse my language. But it's true. No, I'm saying that nobody. Shan, I was just talking about you. Hi, my love. What was I saying? Oh, swamp lover. No, I was just saying in like the numerology, like symbolism videos that I've watched as far as it goes on it, I didn't see anybody or haven't seen anybody mention the fact that Phoenix is on the 33-degree parallel. And that's where his whole thing is, and the whole other thing was, the whole shit show. I miss you too, Shan. I was just telling the chat that not yesterday, but just the day before, I came across your live stream that you did for, what was it? Name That Tune, and it was like DLive against YouTube, and I was just cracking up. It was so funny, like just going back and seeing our answers again, like are just stupid retarded, like doesn't make any sense, freaking answers to like it's just so funny. Yeah, it was so much fun. Those are the good days. But I was just telling the chat, I was like, I need to message Shan. I miss her, and I'm bad about that. And I'm like, what did you say at the beginning? You were like, I can't remember, what was the word that you used to describe how high you were. It was like you said, I can't remember. I'm gonna have to play it right now and find it. But the word you used to describe how high you were was like so funny. Like I literally laughed out loud. It wasn't like, I want to say you said that you were like aggressively high, but it's not aggressive. Aggressively. I don't think you used that word. It's so funny. And then you're like, oh, I guess let's do a country one. Violently, yes, violently high. That's what it was. So funny. You're like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm like violently high right now, and then you just start like giggling. It's so funny. But yeah, and then you're like, like let's do a country one. Like you totally did not want to do it, but you just wanted to like, please everybody with a couple of country ones. You didn't want to, but you did it. It's funny. And like, it's always like the same. Like Sour's always his like, like not dry like humor, but he's just always like a monotone. I picture him just being like a monotone humor. And then like Swamp Lover is always confused for some reason. He doesn't know what's going on. He's confused. He doesn't know who someone is or what's going on at the time. I don't know. It's funny. And then I don't know. Like we all have our own little things. No, I was talking about it like a couple minutes ago. It's completely ridiculous. It's so scripted. It's not even funny. Like for literally like a half a second, was like, whoa, that's fucking crazy. Did that just happen? But then I had to like pull myself back and be like, okay, hold on, Megan. Like, well, let's slow down here, So once I just like stepped back, I was like, yeah, this is ridiculous. See, he's confused now. Like I said, proves my point. So funny. That's so weird though. I can't believe you guys are here because I was literally just watching those streams, and then I was going back on looking at Dub and Michelle's streams too, and then Dub was just here. So that's cool. Swamp Lover's just trying to get that number 1 spot. That's something he would do on that top fans thing. You know, he'll just start saying random stuff right now so he can like stay number 1. I could see him doing something like that. You took the day off, or you just happened to not be able to go to work because it's raining, not because you wanted to take the day off because it was raining. I think that's what you're trying to say. Yeah, it probably is true. Oh, sorry. You guys are like all staring at my stupid American Horror Story picture here. You guys want to see my best lightning shot of the year so far? I think it's almost done. I think we might get rain, another storm on Friday, but it was so horrible. The monsoon season was terrible this year, but as long as I got a couple good shots, that's all I cared about. But I have to say this is my best one. One of my best ones. Definitely going to blow this one up and frame it. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty close, and I definitely felt the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. Like I was like, all right, I'm going inside. Well, thank you. Hey, Wolfie. How are you doing? How are you doing? Why did I say it like that? How are you doing? Speaking is difficult still. I don't even have my extensions in right now, Swamp Lover. You can't use that joke. I'm doing good. Just been really busy. And even when like I do have time to stream, it's like it's so difficult to get back into it just because your channel's kind of like flatlined, I guess. And it's hard to get people back in the chat. So it's almost like, is it worth the time if there's nobody's gonna be in there? And it's just like, do I have time to like get everybody back in here? But I feel like I should still pop it in here and there. And I do have some new Watts content, sort of. I've brought it up before, but there's a couple other things I found that I can't believe that I missed. I was like, oh my god, that was like right in front of my face. How did I not see that? So I'm definitely going to do that in the very soon future. Very soon future. Ay. I haven't, Shan. I don't even know. I don't know how to I don't know how to contact him. The only way that I was in contact was through, obviously streaming and then Discord. But I think he deleted his Discord account. That's true, Wolfie. But I mean, this was like, how could I not have like looked this up and like it's just like I was like, duh, like can't believe it. But yeah, I hear you. I saw Didgeridoo. He's in he's always in a chat of a channel that I watch, Crow 777. I saw him in there, so that was cool. I forgot his name, but I remember it had gold in it. Hey, Dammy. How are you? It's so weird. It's like almost all the DLive people on YouTube in my chat right now. I don't think so. Like, I'll stop in and bug high res for a minute, but as far as like my followers go, that's the only one that I know that still streams. Like I can't believe DLive you can play full movies on there. Like I'll log in sometimes and I see people playing literally full movies and I'm like, how do I get in DLive timeout for playing a documentary about nukes being fake and then but they can like play full movies? That makes zero sense to me. It's like so selective. I don't get it. It's like how did they go backwards in like I don't know censorship? But I do like DLive because like I wish I could play Ren right now. 'Cause he's still my favorite artist, and I think it's so great that he like blew up. Because I remember Sour played on his stream on DLive. He played Money Game Part 2, and I was like hooked ever since. But when he came out with that High Ren video or song, that's what like really put him on like the map. I think it has like 58 million views now. I'm trying to remember how many followers he had or subscribers he had when I first saw the video when Sour played it, but it wasn't. I mean, it was in the thousands, but it wasn't very much. Wait, what do you mean? I knew Ren? Like know of him or like know him in person? Be more specific, Shan, please. Oh, I'll show you another picture that I forgot. I'll show you guys what else I've been doing to occupy my time. Let's see, do a picture, add a picture. Okay. Okay. Move down, clean cups. All right. I'm confused. Yeah, know him. Duh. Wait, what? Hello, Jose. Was a one-time watch for you? Really? You didn't like it that much? I don't know. I think it was like I don't know. I think it was really. It's a great video. There's so much to it. Like just the fact that too that a lot of his songs he does all in one take. Um, but I've seen it so many times. I watched so many like uh reaction videos of it. But yeah, I know. It can be, and especially if like someone's dealt with that um personally as well, what that video is about. I'm sure that would be um I mean I can imagine it'd probably be pretty difficult, you know. But I think it's probably helped a lot of people as well because they can relate to it. So you know what I mean? Okay, so here's what else I've been doing with my time besides lightning photography. Oh, hold on. I gotta. I need to make it the right size. It's huge. Okay. You're like, what is that? I don't know what that is. Think. I don't know why it's so giant. Okay. Okay, let's try this again. It's a cantaloupe. Isn't that the cutest thing you've ever seen? Finally, too. Like, so I've been trying to garden and like grow my own food. Um, but it's so hot here in the summer that it's just like it's there's only a couple of things that can really like thrive here. I think it's like potatoes and onions or something. But um, so it took forever, and I kept trying to like I would baby it and everything, and nothing would happen, and I would just get frustrated. So I kind of just like the past couple of weeks, I kind of just would water it and let it go instead of spending so much time on it because I was like, that's nothing's gonna happen. Like there was a couple times where I tried to self pollinate because there's no bees, and don't get me started on the bees because the bee population is down like 50% because of what they're doing in the skies and 5G and whatnot, and it's super sad. But so I tried to get it in there and like artificially inseminate the male flowers with the female flowers and with a Q-tip and uh, the the melons on the uh, female flower would just die because if they don't get pollinated, they just die. Um, so for whatever reason, me self pollinating or manually pollinating didn't work. Um, and then I ran into some pest issues, and then it was just really hot, and they can't be in direct sunlight at all here, at all. So I think it was, even though I had them like covered with like sort of like shade, like a sunshade, like that. So I don't know what the percentage of sun that gets through it, but it's for like gardening. Um, but it was probably not enough sunlight because they need a lot of sunlight. So anyway, um, it took a long time, and finally, like one day, I just looked over and that it was like as big as a baseball, and I'm like, where the frick did that come from? That's freaking. I got so excited. It's like I don't know. It's just really like cool to watch something grow from a seed. Hey Cynthia, avocados? I don't know. I've never tried to grow avocados. Oh, and but yeah, so I do finally have bees. Well, one bee. It could be a couple different bees, but only one at the garden at a time. Oh, but I was successful in growing one cucumber. It was like it was the best one cucumber I've ever grown. But I didn't realize that I had to uh, self pollinate or manually pollinate those at the time. So, and of course, there was no bees. So, if you don't take care of that some way or another, the cucumber plant it'll just stop producing. So, and then by that point, it also got really hot. So, I grew some green beans, not green beans, sweet peas. I grew sweet peas. Not a big fan of fresh peas, but they were okay. It was girthy, actually, Shan. You said you don't know. I was gonna. I don't think you know Blackjack. She's been in a chat couple times, but she's a Fortnite buddy of mine. She's so funny. But I sent her a picture of it, and I think she was on kind of like lack of sleep. Oh, actually, I know she was on lack of sleep because she told me. You could get like kind of loopy when you haven't slept in a while. But I sent her the picture and when we were on Fortnite, and she goes, "Oh my god, it's so beautiful!" And I was like, "What?" She's like, "A cucumber, it's so beautiful," and she just starts like laughing, and then I'm laughing, and then I was like, "Oh my god, I wasn't expecting that reaction. I thought maybe you'd be like, oh, that's cool." That's a nice cucumber. But she was like, "It's so beautiful." You had to have been there, but it was funny. Oh, you did, Jose? Oh, good. I'm surprised by that because I can't even find my videos when I search for my videos most of the time. But I'm glad you found my channel. I'm not talking about Watts right now because I'm just like kind of getting back into the scene of streaming or trying to, hopefully. But so we're just playing catch up, and I was just kind of doing like a test stream. Yeah, it was funny because I had the one cucumber, and so I wanted everybody like in my life to try it. Not everybody in my life, but I'd like someone go over and be like, "Oh, here, you got to try my cucumber that I grew." And then so I'd give them like 2 slices, and then I like I took my mom a couple. I was like, I got to save a couple slices of the cucumber for my mom to try. It's funny. I'm like going around and putting like 2 pieces of like sliced cucumber on like a little plate for everybody. They're like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll try it. Weirdo. It's pretty funny. But yeah, gardening is fun. Like I said, it's really cool to watch the whole process of like you could always go to like Home Depot and get like a starter, one that's already like germinated plant. But I like doing it from planting from seeds. Just watching that whole uh, process. And like the first little seedlings, and I'm like, oh, that's so cute, little seedlings, and then they like keep, and the just the vine. Like I love the little. I don't think you can see my mouse, but the little vines that like curl, like they curl around when they grab onto something to support itself, like in a like they don't even overlap each other. The vine, it just like it's a perfect like loop down whatever it grabs onto. It's like I don't know. Nature's so lit. It's so awesome. A friend recommended my channel. Well, I hope that your friend forewarned you about my channel because it's not your typical true crime channel, that's for sure. But welcome. Oh, for sure, Shan. Yeah, and like the Fibonacci sequence and the golden spiral. I've always been a Tool fan, but I've been really like getting deep into like all their lyrics more than I have in the past. But like their song Lateralis about the Fibonacci sequence and how um, each syllable or each sequence of words or that syllables goes to the Fibonacci sequence into the Lateralis song. Like it's just so it's crazy. Tool's deep and complex. I know you do. I know you hate Tool. They're no Jan Terry, okay? But yeah, no, like once you dig deeper into like Tool's lyrics, you definitely appreciate it more. And like just the complexity um of all their songs and the drum uh Danny Carey, his drum sequence patterns. Like I was just like kind of always ignored drums, and then like once I learned more about his style of drumming and stuff, you learn to appreciate all the different um instruments in a band, or like you appreciate the bass more and you appreciate the guitar more and the riffs and the um especially when you know like to what to listen for. You definitely appreciate it more. Yeah, Pussifer is good too. I think you would like A Perfect Circle. Have you listened to A Perfect Circle? Like it's more mellow. I think there's some that are maybe not that, but it's more mellow than Tool. I don't even know how. I don't know how he has time to have 3 bands that he's in, and he also has a his own winery here in Arizona in Jerome. And I think he just like recently, I mean not like just recently, but fairly recently opened a like a cafe coffee shop kind of thing. Yeah, like all of their lyrics are so like thought provoking and just deep, and um a lot of it's about like the your pineal gland, and your finding your spiritual awakening kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying. I don't know. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm saying. It sounds good in my head, but sometimes I can't make out the words. Yeah, I know. I know that you know that I know that you know, Shan. All right, well, I must go to work now. I don't want to, but I have to go to work, so I have to get ready. But I'm so glad that all of you guys stopped in today, old and new. You as well, Jose. Again, I'm glad you found my channel, and keep an eye out for check back in on the channel, because I will be doing some content soon as far as the Watts case goes. If I haven't scared you away by then, and Wolfie, yeah, I got to go to work, and I still got to eat some lunch, but I just wanted to do a test stream. I did one earlier, like early this morning. Um, Swamp Lover let me know that my audio was bad, so we fixed that, hopefully. Um, and just kind of let you guys know I'm here, and that I'll be doing that live stream. And I will give you a hint. It's all about the shoes. Shan knows what I'm talking about. Swamp Lover, Sour. Um, I know you guys know what I'm talking about. So they just keep popping up. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's all about the shoes. Yeah. Yeah, the title. I think the title, what I thought of so far for the live stream will be, what did I come up with earlier? Something about, oh, now I'm not going to remember. I should have wrote it down. Something about what you mean. I don't know what you, I don't know. It's going to be a play on words for sure. But I'll try. Damn, Dammy. Thanks for stopping in. Also, hope you're doing well. And I will hopefully see you guys soon. Shan, I will message you as soon as I can. I love you. Thank you, everyone. Bye. That's the new thing. Bye. Okay, bye.